that will be me. We have our photo booth model over here, Kimberley. And we have our mother over here, our sex therapist, Linda. That nobody ever asked Linda any questions. So that's the reason why she don't get any, I guess, any whatchamacallit. But anyway, we have so much fun on this show. So sit back and relax. Take your shoes off, get you some popcorn or whatever, and we're ready to have our conversation tonight. But before we do, we have to have our scripture walk up. We always have to have Jesus. All right, Otis, drop that beat.
Uh-oh.
You know another song.
All righty. This is Kimberley, and our scripture is finish what you start. Philippians 1:6. Whatever you start, please finish it. You have from now to December to finish whatever you started for 2025. And this young man said, you just can't be the person that never gives up. And he is one that never give up, which is our CEO of the Kirk booth. And then this black says, but God. I tell you, if it wasn't for God on my side, I don't know where I would be. But God stepped in and said, all right, Kirkwood, you can make it. All right, thank you so much for that, Kimberley. Yes, thank you. But God. All right, we have a special guest that's going to come to our show tonight. And I met this beautiful woman in one of her seminars at the Fort Worth Black Chamber was hoping was hosting Keep It in the Family. A very good, I mean, it was awesome. And I was going to leave a little bit early, but it got so good. I ended up staying through the whole thing and got a hamburger at the end. But anyway, we have, and I would like to welcome Dr. Christie K. Moore. Give it up for you all. Yeah. How are you? So good to see you again. You can have a seat right here. Yes. All right. We're so happy to have Dr. Christie K. Moore with us, and she has her own business, and we've been trying to get people to come in on the show to talk about funeral homes and what to expect when we get ready to go home. Okay. A lot of people don't want to talk about that, but one day we're going to do that. So tonight we're going to get into her business. We love getting into people's business and knowing what they are about and what they can bring to the table. And also she's going to give some good information to you all. So if y'all have any questions, stop and ask her. All right, so this young lady here owns her own funeral home. Nice. Mansfield Funeral Home and Cremation. Nice. Let me tell you what was funny, Christy. When we first moved over here, there's a cremation right here, right? I thought it said creative. So I'm telling people, it's next to the creative. And they kept saying, there's no creative, it's cremation. And I go out there and look, I said, oh my God, it is cremation. We're next to cremation. So Linda said, do you think they cremate them in there? I said, I don't know, but I'm not going in there to find out. So, all right. So tonight she's going to give us a little bit about herself and tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank y'all so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
We're happy you're here. Yes.
It's an honor to be here.
Yes.
I'm Christy. I'm born and raised in Dallas in a place called Oak Cliff.
Oh, we know Oak Cliff very well.
That's my hood.
That's your hood. All right. All right.
So, is it close to Arapahoe?
No, so that's further up north.
She loved that.
I love that name.
Really?
Arapahoe.
That's further up north.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. No, I was born and raised in Keystone, Hampton.
Uh-huh.
And so I attended DISD schools.
Okay.
I've known since I was 9 that I wanted to be a mortician.
Really? At 9 years old?
At 9 years old, I knew.
Wow.
Yes.
9 years old, don't think about the dead.
Well,
why? Yeah.
Well, it was dropped in my spirit. My dad's grandmother, so my great grandmother, along with my nana and my papa on my mom's side, they all helped raise us. Because my parents were super young, 20 and 21, so they were still in college, and so we would go and stay with them. So my dad's grandmother, she had colon cancer.
Oh, okay.
So we saw her go from being full of life and taking us to church every Sunday to just being skin and bones, really. She was allergic to all the medicines. This is back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Allergic to everything. And so we were there when she passed. And then at the funeral home the next day, I ended up in the prep room.
Oh, wow.
And I watched them embalm her.
And what age was this?
And this is at 9.
At 9.
At 9.
And you wasn't afraid?
I wasn't. I was peaceful. I was very interested in how they were able to bring her body back to life. And then a couple days later, I saw her in the casket, hair, makeup, and dressed like she was going to church. I hadn't seen her like that in years.
Okay.
And my family, who was crying, they were, as soon as they saw her, they were instantly calmed. And the pastor made them feel so much at peace. So when we buried her at Singing Hills in Dallas, as they were lowering her body in the casket, in the grave, I asked, who was that person that took care of Lolo? My dad said, a mortician. And I literally felt this overwhelming spirit that I now know to be the Holy Spirit. And I said, I'm going to do that for the rest of my life.
Wow. Isn't that nice how you can put that in your spirit that this is what I want to do when I grow up?
Yes.
Okay, so how, let me ask you these questions. I think they're pretty good. And you got started at 9 years old, right? Into this, okay?
Yes.
And your grandmother inspired you? Is that what you were saying?
My great-grandmother.
Your great-grandmother inspired you to do this.
Yes.
So what is the history of your funeral home? How did you get started with that?
So I'm the only one in my family who has any interest, who's in the industry.
Everybody said, no, I ain't getting into that.
Yes, I have a family full of entrepreneurs, so beauticians, cosmetologists. I have educators. My grandfather and grandmother, Dr. Roscoe Smith and Dr. Velma Smith, were superintendents and counselors, and we have therapists. And so in that type of family, I saw the entrepreneurs just in the grind of, getting things done. And so I never fully wanted to be in ownership. However, when it was time for me to go to college, I wanted to go straight to mortuary school.
Really?
My parents were like, absolutely not. It was in the 80s, well, in the 90s at that time, and they were like, you need to at least go to get your bachelor's.
Okay.
And then once you get your bachelor's, come back, go to mortuary school, and then go from there.
Okay.
Well, after going to get my bachelor's and I got my master's, came back and did my mortuary school work and working for other funeral homes, I realized this is not how God told me to serve people. Right. Working for corporations, they were asking me to, turn families really quickly. I only had 30 minutes to work with the family. They wanted me to maximize the contracts. And I'm like, this is not how God told me to serve.
Add stuff that not necessarily needed.
That not needed, or just convince them if they wanted to get a casket that costs $2,000, ask them the questions, why not get this $4,000 contract? Because they were like, the higher the contract, the more money I would make, in some regards. However, that's not how God told me to serve.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
And so I found myself saying, you know what? Let me do this myself. So I opened my first funeral home 9 years ago.
Wow.
Yes.
That number 9 again.
That number 9
again.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. How long did it take you to go to mortuary school? How long did it take that?
So I received my master's in endocrinology at Meharry Medical College in Tennessee State, a dual program. And so because I did that, I only had to go for 12 months because I received my embalming and funeral director license. So I'm a licensed embalmer and a licensed funeral director.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
Oh, wow. Whoa. And so it took you what? A year or 2 years to go through all of that?
12
or was
months.
that part of the master?
So I did 4 years of undergrad, 2 years in grad, and a year in
Girl, you was
mortuary
in school
science.
the whole time.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you worked for how long for other funeral homes?
So I graduated from mortuary school in 03. I became fully licensed in 05, but I was working as an apprentice and just helping out.
Okay.
I managed Evergreen Funeral Home in Dallas. So I was one of their managers. And then I worked for a large corporation. So I would say from 2008 up until ownership of 2016.
So you started your business in
16.
16.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I know you said something about family. You don't have any family members
No.
working for you?
No.
Not one?
Not a one. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to do
Are
it.
they afraid? Are they afraid of the bodies or something, you think?
They're not afraid. I'm just a family full of A-type driven personalities, and we have our own lane.
That's good, though.
I don't think anybody in my family is doing the same thing. We all have our own lane.
Own business and stuff like that.
Yes.
But do they ever ask you, are you afraid to go? Do you do the embalming yourself, or you do it all?
I can.
Oh, okay.
But I have a staff that does it.
Okay. This sounds so scary.
Well, okay, so what's scary about it?
You're dealing with a dead person.
Well, I mean,
that's a body.
They're not going to do anything to you.
Deal with the dead in their life.
You know, if we unpack that, I am comfortable dealing with the dead because I respect the journey that they've taken.
Right.
I understand that they had to go through their own journey to be laying on this table. Yes. And so I have a piece that I am providing closure for the family because the families are very scared to go and see their loved ones in the casket. Mm-hmm. And so when they walk up to the casket and it's like they look better in the casket than they ever did in life, that's a blessing for me. Yeah. And that's what helps fuel me, my staff and I to just keep pushing forward because we're number one in Frisco. We're number one in Mansfield. Number one in DFW. Number one in Texas, too, at one point.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
And she's a woman, Black owned.
Yes.
So how do you become number one? Because you have, what's the funeral home in Dallas?
There are several. There are several funeral homes. Yes. So the number one came from being top rated. So we have almost 250 5-star reviews.
Wow.
Yes. For our funeral homes. Wow. And those are true reviews that families leave uncoerced. There is no payment for the reviews. They literally on their own free will leave those reviews. And so when the people look at our reviews and they compare the long list of reviews versus others, then that's how they consider us to be, number one. And then we also have been entered into contests where people had to vote for us. Oh. And so we've been voted, not just top rated, but voted number one.
Oh, that's even better.
It speaks volumes because we're the only woman owned and person of color in Mansfield and Frisco.
Especially in Mansfield.
Yes, and especially in Frisco.
And Frisco, too.
Yes,
but ma'am. That is awesome.
And we have our own crematory, too.
Oh, that's good. Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think in today's society, is more people going through the crematory versus the funeral? I mean, burial. Burial. That's the word. That's the word, burial.
So the rates have definitely increased. And people, all ethnicities, 10, 15 years ago, it was very rare that you would have African-American families to be choosing cremation. Mm-hmm. Now it's pretty even now.
Is it because of the cost?
It's a lot of things. It's because of cost. People feel more responsible about using up God's earth. Mm-hmm. And they're like, you know what? I don't want to put my loved one in the ground and take up space. And a lot of people are more mobile now. So they want to be able to take their loved one with them.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
Right. I think I was there last year. Wakita Jones.
Yes, her husband.
I came. Yeah.
The Jones
family. This place is so beautiful. And I love the bathroom.
Kim love bathrooms.
Listen,
I love your bathroom.
Thank you.
I was like, if the bathroom is right, everything else is right. And I went in the bathroom. I was like, I don't want to leave.
Oh, Kimberley, she like that. I love bathrooms too, especially when it's a restaurant.
Yes, I was just there for that.
Yes, Sister Jones was a joy to work with. That whole family was amazing. We always pray for our families, and she's definitely in our prayers.
It was so anointed in there. It was cozy.
Thank you.
It's
beautiful. Do y'all go out of town, out of state to pick up bodies? Or?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we can go anywhere within the state of Texas because the statutes say that you're not supposed to transport someone across state lines without embalming a proper preservation. There are certain cases where you can if it's religious, but most times they have to be embalmed. So if someone dies outside of Texas, then we can tell a funeral home to pick them up and they'll embalm them and then they'll fly them to us or they'll drive them to us.
But, so are there higher costs for that?
Yes. So because you have to engage another funeral home.
Okay.
Oh.
So, and everyone has their own pricing. I have my pricing. I brought that for you all, but everyone has their own pricing. But that's why it's important to pre-plan because you can actually have travel insurance. I had a family that came in. A daughter brought in her mother and father.
Okay.
And we wrote a pre-need for both of them. And then we said, hey, how about a travel plan? Like, well, we don't need that. I said, well, tell you what, if either of your parents pass 75 miles or further from their home, they're going to have to spend money to have them brought back to us.
Okay.
So we convinced them to go ahead and do it. I think it was like $499 for both of them.
Okay.
2 weeks later, they died in a car accident together.
Oh my.
So they had to engage another funeral home. The other funeral home had to embalm each of them and have them both shipped back. That cost would have been almost $10,000, but because they paid $499, everything was free.
Wow.
It's important to have the insurance.
Is there a limit on the $499? I mean, you have to be in it so many, undoubtedly not so many months or years.
No, it takes effect immediately. So as soon as you pay for the insurance and you start to travel, then you're good. Now, some people say, I have travel insurance on like a cruise line or something like that.
Right.
It's always best to make sure you have everything that you need because some people will think, okay, well, if I pass, this is taken care of. Well, they may not take care of the embalming. They may not take care of all the funeral homes and you're still having to pay. So you have to make sure you read the information.
Tell us about your pre-planning. What's the steps in the pre-planning? How did we go about that?
Sure. So pre-planning it's two aspects. You can talk about what you prefer, like the guide that I brought you all, that great guide in there. You can talk about what you prefer and put it on paper. And give it to the person who's in charge of your care so that upon your passing, they'll know exactly what you prefer. And then you can also place that pre-plan into a pre-need, which is a contract that we would write as if it's the same contract we would write if you passed, but it's before you pass. That's why it's called pre-need. And you write everything that you want in the contract, the total that at that day's cost for today's cost will be there. And then the premium you pay will be based on your age and the amount of the contract.
Does that include the casket, the open and close of the grave, or what?
It can include anything that you prefer. Now, the funeral home can guarantee their charges. Casket, embalming, dressing, casketing, limos. We as in the funeral home, we can guarantee our charges. However, if you want to put cemetery charges on that contract, that's considered non-guaranteed. So let's say you say, you know what, I don't want to go to the cemetery. The cemetery says it's going to be $5,000 for their portion. I'd put the $5,000 under the non-guaranteed, and in 10 years, if it has increased, the family will pay the difference. Because it's not guaranteed. But anything on the funeral side, I have to honor according to the contract.
So on the funeral side, what would be included on the funeral side? What was that you said?
It can, and I can go down the list. It can be the basic services of the funeral home.
That's the embalming and all that?
That's the fee. So there's a non-declinable fee that funeral homes will charge you. That takes care of all the overhead. It's called a professional or basic services of the funeral home. So that's at the top of the contract. Then you have embalming, cosmetizing, hair, dressing and casketing, the casket, the service, the cars, the flower car.
What about the programs?
Programs
in there?
Flowers. Escorts.
All this is included.
If you prefer, you can build that contract to have whatever you want. Because some families will say, you know what, I just want to pay for the service fee, the casket, and my family can take care of everything else. You can, as long as it's a contract that can be executed. Because some companies will say the minimum is $500, the minimum is $1,500. It just depends.
Depends on that. So if we go ahead and do that and pay for it, do you have a payment plan, or do you have to pay all of it at one time when we get through doing, what we want? Can you pay it all at one time, or can you get a payment plan on it? Or
you're asking great questions. So you can pay it all at one time. Or you can pay it monthly. Semi-annually, annually. You can spread it out up to 10 years depending on your age.
So how many years does it go? Is it 10 years? Can it be paid for?
Yes, so you can spread it out up to 10 years depending on your age. Yes. And then the longer it takes for you to pay it, the more the policy will cost. It's not really called interest on the policy, but it will cost you more to maintain that policy. But if you execute something today and pay it off within the year, it's minimal cost to that policy.
Okay. And then if something happened 10 years later, I still have that policy.
Absolutely.
We have that policy.
So it won't go up.
Absolutely. So let me give you a
Wow.
scenario. Let me give you a scenario.
Okay.
So my grandfather and my grandmother took out a policy back in the 80s. My grandmother passed 14 years ago.
Okay.
My grandfather paid, I think, like $2,500 for the policy. It's for a full service, everything, limo, casket.
That was cheap.
Yes, but then it was expensive, right?
Yeah, back then it was.
When my nana passed 14 years ago, that same policy would have cost $25,000.
Yeah.
And the funeral home that took care of her, because I wasn't open at that time, they had to give them everything for $2,500.
I know they didn't like that.
No. So, and just to make it more relevant to today, those who had a pre-need policy before COVID and they passed after COVID, their families would have paid double if they didn't have the policy, because prices have doubled since COVID.
Wow.
So it's important that you go ahead and lock in a pre-need as soon as possible.
That's something there.
Now, this even including the cremation. If you get cremated,
Sure.
instead of it. Okay, what if you want like a funeral service, and then after the funeral service, then you have the cremation?
Absolutely. So this is the misconception that people have. People think that a cremation is to replace a funeral. It is not.
Okay.
Cremation is another form of disposition. Disposition is a fancy word of how we're going to dispose of someone's body.
Right.
And here in the North Texas region, it's burial or cremation. Okay. Those are usually the two things. So final disposition is burial or cremation. Before we bury or cremate you, we can have a full service. We can embalm you, dress you, put you in a casket, take you to the church. We can ship you to another state. We can do anything you want us to do. And then once all the ceremonies are over, then we can bury you or we can cremate you.
Oh, okay. That's what they did to my sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
She's been gone since 2016. She got killed.
Okay.
And we was trying to figure out were they gonna do a funeral, have her there, or were we gonna have the what you call urn or whatever there? Yeah. And they did. They did the whole service with the casket and had her in the casket. Then afterward, they cremated her, and I didn't know anything. I was surprised. I said, "Oh, so they still do a funeral?" But yeah, she wanted to be cremated too. So,
yes, ma'am. There are so many people that decide to do direct cremation because they're not given the option. A lot of funeral homes don't give the option, and so when that happens, families usually come back and say, "I wish I could have had a service." Oh yeah, you could have had a service.
But they didn't know.
They didn't know. They weren't told. That's why I told God, God, when you bless me with what you told me you would bless me with, I'm going to educate your people first.
Thank you.
So my foundation is education.
Right. And another thing on, I know you mentioned at the thing about how they was forcing you to make them, do more money than they were supposed to. But you work with them and talk to them, and if they can't afford it, what happened if they cannot afford your services? What do you do to help them?
Yes. So at Mansfield Funeral Home and Cremations, at both Mansfield and the Frisco locations, we offer financing. Okay. So you can utilize Care Credit, which a lot of people already have, or Lending USA. Now, I preach being fiscally responsible. Okay. So I negotiated with both lending companies that they are to provide 6 months no interest. Okay. To give families an opportunity to gather their money. There is an origination fee because it is a loan. However, there's no interest for 6 months because some people either don't want to use their cash immediately, waiting for the death certificate for the insurance, or they're waiting for people to donate or whatever, but they need to have the service within those 2 weeks. So we just do the financing, no down payment, and they're approved. The financing company pays me. I'll pay my contract or the cemetery or whatever they need, and that's it.
Okay, and then that credit card you just pay the credit card like we want to. Right?
The family will, yes. Yeah, according to the terms.
Oh, okay. That's not bad at all.
Yes, ma'am.
That's really good. So what if somebody come in and say, "Oh, I really want this casket, but it's too high." Yes. Do you lower the prices for the casket?
You know, I price my caskets, I say competitively, which is I stay in line with the trends for the environment. I don't believe in saying competition because we're all here to serve God's people.
Right.
So I consider myself to be right in the middle when it comes with caskets.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need for families to pay $6,000 for a casket. And I'll tell, even if a family points out an $8,000 casket on my floor, I'll say, "Are you sure you want that?" Because a casket is a casket, and I'll ask them.
That's true.
I say,
But you say a casket is a casket, but isn't there some kind of different material
it is
that the casket is made of?
Yes, and that's what the conversation is about. I ask the families, "What's important to you?
Right.
Did you pick this casket because of the way it looks, because of the material, because of the interior? And if there's another casket that can give them the same thing that they're looking for a lower amount, I will recommend the lower amount casket. Now, some families are like, "I want that copper. I want to pay $10,000. End of story." And I'm like, "Okay," and I order it.
Okay.
But not without making sure they are being fiscally responsible. Because what happens, have you ever spent too much money on something and then after the event or something is over, you're like, "Why did I spend all that money?"
You're right.
I don't ever want somebody to think of me and think of anything but positivity, peace, and comfort. And that comes when it's time to pay your bills. You have bills to pay. You have a life to live after you take care of your loved one.
That's true.
And I want them to say, "Christy, make sure that I was taken care of."
That's good. Okay. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
This is interesting to me. Okay, so you can get you have cedar caskets. Is that more expensive?
Yes.
Why? Because of the wood?
Because of the wood.
So I can get somebody to make my casket?
Sure.
Oh, can you do that?
You can get someone to make it. You can buy it from anywhere. By law, we have to accept it.
Apostle, I'm going to make my casket.
Girl, hush. You need to quit.
I'm serious.
We're going to make you a wood. My other question is, some people have writing on the casket, like they put what they want, their names or a scripture.
Yeah.
Who does that? If they, like if I want to put a favorite scripture in there, who would do that? Would your people do that?
Yes, we can do all of that.
Wow.
Really?
Either we'll do it. It's stenciling. You can stencil on the casket, or we can put what's called a cap panel inside of the lid of the casket.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
In the lid when they, so the people can see it.
Absolutely.
Because we've seen pictures, and y'all can do that too.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
We are full concierge service. We can do everything, or we can do what the family prefers. Some families are like, "We just want you to show up with our loved one. We'll do our own flowers, our own programs." And some families are like, "Christy, here are the colors. Here's my budget. I'll see you at the service." And they trust us to plan everything out, and they literally show up when everything is there, and they're pleased.
So I don't have to have limos if I don't want a limo.
No.
You can't make me get a limo.
I will not. I asked families one time, "Do you want family cards?" Nope, I move on.
Okay.
Because to me, it is an expense that is unnecessary unless you feel it's two reasons. One is traditional and you wanted your loved one service to look a certain way, right?
Right.
Or you feel like you're not able to drive safely to the service and you need that extra care. If you need that, that's fine. But I would say most of my families don't want limos. They don't want cars. Yeah. If they do want a car, we have Escalades. We'll send Escalades.
Oh, okay.
What about a police escort?
Yes.
How many of those can you have? As many as you want.
As many as you want. I've had up to 7 on one service because it was a huge service. Escorts are there to get us through the lights and get us through safely.
Right.
There are some families that want to kind of trim what we call trim the fat on the contract. So we'll tell them to get around getting escorts. Once the service concludes, we'll go ahead and go to the cemetery.
Okay.
And we'll tell y'all, okay, it's 12 o'clock. We'll meet everybody at graveside at 12:30.
Oh. Okay.
And in that way, we don't have to have escorts. So that's a way to save on your contract.
Because you have to pay for those escorts.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
What about graveside thing, dude? Is that cheaper than having a...
It is. I love graveside services.
I
had a family call us the other day and was like, "Listen, we want to take care of our loved one. We want to have an open casket. Our funds are limited. What can you do?"
Okay.
So have you ever thought about bypassing having service at church and just do everything at the cemetery? They're like, they never thought about that. So we're going to have an open casket at the cemetery, have a visitation, have a service. We're going to take our speaker out there. We're going to take a podium out there. we're gonna have a full service at graveside.
Now I've never seen an open casket at a grave.
It's very peaceful because you think about you're under the tent, the wind is blowing. It is actually a very peaceful setup to have a graveside service.
So you have the casket lined in to go down into it, and it's open while they can.
Right, they can see you.
I don't think we've done that before, have
we? have.
We haven't done that before.
It's beautiful.
Oh wow!
Yes,
This
ma'am.
sounds interesting. So, okay, let me ask you this question: what is the most important to you when serving grieving families? What is most important to you?
What's most important to me is I meet them where they are.
Okay, good.
So when families call us initially on the phone, I ask, do you mind if we say a word of prayer?
Okay.
We pray with them on the phone if God leads me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
We pray with them before we get started.
Okay.
And I ask them, what is your experience in this space? And we go from there.
Okay.
I don't immediately go right into business. I don't immediately assume that they know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
If families are if they're fine at first, but we start talking about caskets or something and cause them to become emotional, we'll stop. We'll go, because I have a garden at my Mansfield location where we have services outside in the garden.
Oh, really?
Yes, ma'am. And so we'll go and have arrangements in the garden because the air and the roses and the flowers will kind of lighten their thought process.
Right.
And so we'll either move into the garden, or I'll ask them, do you want some tea, want some water? So what's important to me is I take the journey with them according to what they need, not according to my schedule or what I need. It's about the family.
So what is the longest that you can hold a body out, though? What is the longest that you normally hold a body out?
So we have a phenomenal preparation team. We call it prep team. And so we had a family ask us to hold their loved one for 9 months. And they were being shipped to Cameroon.
Oh,
and so they had to prepare, and everyone had to get flights and all of that. So we held their loved one for 9 months, and their mother looked as beautiful as she did when we embalmed her, because they had service at the beginning, and then we stored her thereafter, and she looked as beautiful the day they saw her 9 months later, and even in Cameroon.
She didn't turn color or anything?
No, because I use the best fluid, and the fluid is like the embalming fluid. I don't cut corners on anything, from my bathrooms to my fluid to just the way we carry ourselves to the building. And so the fluid that you use and the embalmer that is taking care of the loved one, those are the two factors. I would say in 9 years, we've only had to have one closed casket, and that's because the person was a burn victim. And there was literally nothing we could do.
Right.
But we've dealt with so many families, to the point where one family, they were so afraid of what their mother was going to look like. They were like, closed casket. And I said, tell you what, allow us to do our work according to this picture. And if she does not look exactly or better than what you prefer, I will give you your money back for the service.
That's a guarantee.
Guarantee.
Whoa.
They walked in there, and the daughter started crying because she thought her mom was still alive, sleeping in the casket.
Sleeping.
Wow.
And the before and after picture, they could not believe, but that's because we take care. And we love what we do.
She making it like, let's go die right now.
No, I want that.
I ain't ready to go, but
This
this is interesting.
Thank you. A question. Okay, the blood that y'all drain out, do some of it be left in there, or do y'all flush it?
And left in the body.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why the person, I don't like saying bodies, but the reason why deceased persons are well taken care of is because in the embalming process, they have to be completely drained of the blood, and then the embalming fluid replaces the blood. Okay. Once it replaces the blood, it goes through the capillaries, and that's what embalms and preserves your body. And so blood should not be left in your body. It should be replaced with embalming fluid.
No, the reason I asked, because sometimes one time I was at a funeral and I could smell.
You can smell what?
The body. So my thinking was that they didn't drain all the blood or something. Or
is that your get up with?
I wouldn't. I can't venture to say what the smell was. I can say that if you use the right embalming fluid, it has humectants and fragrances in the embalming fluid to take away that blood smell or that smell. So it could be a myriad of reasons why you smell that.
Mhm.
And that's unfortunate. I hate that you had to experience that, but we do our best to not have that
Okay.
concern.
That's a
How
bad
close were
smell.
you? How close were you to
When I
smell?
walked around, when they view the body,
I've been in
When they-
situations
you
at
could
other
smell
funerals.
It. You could
Yeah.
smell
You
it.
At
was
the
viewing
funeral?
the bottle. It was you was smelling it while the funeral was going on when you walked.
Yeah, while the funeral was going
Oh,
on.
really?
Yeah. So
You
I was.
must be really good at what you do though.
Oh, yeah.
We're
She's
we're-
number one.
Oh, she's number one.
I wouldn't know that yet.
Oh,
I'm not gonna know that yet.
Oh,
In
yeah.
Frisco, well, you know soon enough. She's number
Yeah.
one.
So will you?
We go.
Come on.
Okay,
guys.
so-
this is Big Husky.
This
How
is
you
our
doing?
comedian. This
Okay.
is Dr. Moore.
I know
Okay.
more.
Crazy
And,
to meet you.
So, what sets your funeral home apart from others? Again, I want them to know what sets your funeral home
Mhm.
apart from other funeral homes.
If you don't pay, they fight.
We are very transparent
Okay.
with our
I like
dealings.
that. Okay.
Families know exactly what we're doing.
Good.
They know exactly what our pricing is about. Even in our arrangement room, we have a screen where they can follow along if they prefer with, everything. We take families from the first step all the way through. We will sit in their home and help them pick out clothing.
Wow.
We have gone through hundreds of pictures of photo albums. We make sure that they proof everything before everything goes to print. So I've been to other funerals where the programs weren't printed properly,
Right,
and instead
I
of
have
reprinting them, they just gave them to the.
Mhm.
We will reprint. We are human, so if when we do make mistakes, we own up to those mistakes.
Okay.
We make sure the families but whatever mistake we make, the family is so pleased with the transparency. They're like, you know what? I'm not even concerned about that
Right.
mistake because of the excellent work that you all have done.
That's
Wow.
good.
So
That's real good.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
She made me want her to embalm me.
but
You
also
ain't got that
what
long,
makes
so
us
she's, she ready.
He always messing with her.
also makes us different is that we own our own crematory.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, you can
That's
burn.
good.
Yes.
I love it.
Oh,
I'd
so
probably
you can
say-
just roll Big Husky in there. Shoot him up
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
because most
Wow.
most funeral homes that say that they're like funeral home and cremation or cremation services don't own their own crematory. So when they take your loved one into their care, you're going to a third party.
Right.
And
What?
your loved one or you
Right.
are susceptible to whatever that third party's practices
You're
are.
right.
Wow.
And so when someone passes and they come to us, they stay within our care because we have our crematory. So that
you have
definitely
it
sets us
on right there on your.
in Mansfield.
Get out of here.
As far as I know, I'm the only woman-owned crematory in Tarrant County.
Get
Wow.
come
As far
on
as I
here.
know.
What's the name
That's
of your
what I'm
funeral?
talking
It's
about.
Mansfield Funeral
Mansfield
Home
right
and
here.
Cremations.
Mansfield. So you don't have to go out.
Reading is fundamental, huh?
It is, and if you'd have read,
Okay, so what is the most rewarding part of your work?
Oh, I love when families come to me not knowing what to
Okay.
do.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the service is over or they give us that 5-star review, they say that was the best experience.
Wow.
And just reading through the reviews or seeing them come through, like we received one this morning and they named every single one of my staff persons by name.
Wow, that's
And-
how close they were.
Yes, they
That's
remembered
awesome.
every staff person's name, and they were like, they didn't know what to do, and we provided them the space to fully be authentically themselves.
Yes.
Because if they're having some type of conflict, there's no
Ooh.
judgment. We do our best to mediate, but stay in our lane.
Oh,
And
that's
so,
good.
as long as they're in our process, they don't have to put on airs. They
Just
allow
be
us. They
themselves.
be them.
Selves.
They're themselves, and we
wow.
reassure them that it's okay. That whatever they're going through, that it's okay.
Okay, next question. What has been the biggest challenge in running a funeral home? What's been your biggest challenge?
she's a black funeral home
Well,
and a woman.
that could be two right there.
yeah, I would say those. However, God has positioned me
Mhm.
for such a time.
For such a time as
Come on,
this.
Yes.
Come on now. Come on now. For such a time as
Tell
this.
she go to church.
Oh
Yes.
yes, you know it. All right.
He's positioned me,
Uh-huh.
in a city. I don't know if anybody. Mansfield was the last city to desegregate.
I know. That's
In
me
the
why
state
I
of
was
Texas.
complimenting you to be in Mansfield.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and I actually was deterred by someone, tried to deter me.
Mm-hmm.
And the funeral home that I acquired in Mansfield was being sold privately.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to build in Mansfield, and the
Okay.
realtor was like, you are a woman and you're
Yes.
African American.
Come on.
You have to get a special use permit, and they're not going to approve it.
You have to get a
Special use permit, because there was no land in Mansfield available that was already zoned for a funeral home.
In that song.
So 2 weeks later, he emailed me. He said, hey, this owner wants a private sale. Are you still interested, right? I said, yeah, let me come look at it. Went in. It was the exact floor plan, colors, furniture, and
Look
everything
at God. Look at
that I
God.
had designed
Won't
5
he do
years.
it?
5 years before, I had drawn everything
Won't he
out.
do it?
I just started crying.
Yes, he will.
And 6 months later,
Look at God.
I had the keys.
You had to. Yeah, come on, y'all. We got to give God some praise.
That's awesome.
Okay, so what advice would you give someone considering working in the funeral service?
Run.
You know what? Run. Yeah, run if you think you're doing it just for the money, because
Okay.
people can sniff that out.
Yeah.
People know when people are serving authentically.
Mhm.
If you're looking to work in the industry, find a firm that is that honors your commitment to God and your commitment to excellence, if that's your foundation.
Mhm.
And make sure that their culture aligns with your personality.
Oh, I like that.
Because we have people that come to us often that want to work for us, and after them volunteering for a little bit,
Mhm.
I'm like, no, our mindset doesn't
There you
align.
go.
If you walk past a piece of trash on the ground and I
can't
see
pick
you
it
walk
up.
past it, if you come out of the restroom and I go in behind you and I see that you didn't do something, you just kind of looked over it, I can't do that. If you have a family walk in and you're having a bad day and you project that on them, I can't do that.
I hear you.
So make sure that your mindset aligns with the firm that you prefer to work with.
Mhm.
And if you prefer to own a funeral home,
Mhm.
make sure you're doing it to serve God's people and allow God to put you in a space of prosperity once
That's
you
good.
honor Him.
I like that.
Yes.
So do you give if someone cannot afford the funeral, do you get discounts or do you help them payment plans or?
Yes, I will. We will offer them a payment plan.
Okay.
And if that payment plan doesn't work and there's no way, like if they want a full service with 2 limos and all of that, and they only want to pay $2,000.
Oh no.
Then I would say, you know what? let me encourage you to look for another firm,
Okay.
and I will with no problem transfer your loved one to that firm. Just remember, you get what you pay for.
That's right.
And every time they transfer, they say, Christy, we should have stayed.
See that?
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
so.
that's one of the things that really get to me is where you want the quality, but you don't want to pay for
Yeah.
it.
Right.
You want this big fancy funeral,
Mhm.
but you got $2 in your pocket.
But it's the human
know.
element, though.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
Yeah.
really fault people for having that mindset.
Right.
Because there are funeral homes out there that will posture themselves as a cut rate funeral home
Mhm.
or a funeral home that will undercut the lowest contract. So
Mhm.
people have been conditioned to think that they can, quote unquote, haggle to get the lowest price. However, when you come to my firm and you see my travertine marble floors and the bathroom and the prayer
that
meditation
she didn't want to
garden,
leave.
the prayer
That's
and
a place
meditation
you wanna
garden.
Not at her place. Kim said it was so beautiful
It's
in
I
there.
still want to leave.
I've seen a lot of funerals, but when
Right.
I was enamored, I'm just like, this is the
Blown
most
away.
beautiful funeral I've ever seen. You could just see the excellence in everything that y'all did. I kept saying, Wakita, this ain't no real funeral. She was looking at me. I said, everything is just so
Beautiful, huh?
elegant. It's beautiful. It's classy.
Excellent.
Just beyond anything. I'm just like, wow.
To God be the glory.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
That's
Yes,
good.
I had no idea I'd see you here, but I was just like, wow. I wanna
Well,
come
you had
here.
it at the funeral home.
She had the visitation at the funeral home, and then we had the service at Word of Truth.
Word of Truth.
Mhm.
Oh,
Just
so
everything
one of
they
your
I
did.
remember.
One of your members.
Wakita.
Oh,
And her
okay.
husband. But even when
Oh,
y'all came
Wakita.
in, everything y'all did when y'all came in, just
It was just
I'm
beautiful.
just looking like, wow, is it my time? Well, I need them to help me out. But I really thought I didn't know.
People
I thought it
always
was
say
white
they
owned.
think that we're white owned because of the way it looks, and that's unfortunate. But it is what it is, and so
I'm so glad you got it like that, so they'll think it's white owned and it's black owned.
Well, until they say, well, we went somewhere else because we didn't know this was black owned. So that's why I'm out there. Like, listen, we're here, and if service starts at 11 o'clock. We are standing at the door at 10:50.
Thank you.
Waiting to go in.
I cannot stand lateness.
Everybody dressed well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, her style?
That matters.
Good girl. I got to come visit.
It matters.
Can I come and visit?
We have people come. They'll be out in our prayer meditation garden doing yoga. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, I can see on the cameras they're out there. People come and have coffee with me and tea.
Really?
What time do you go there?
Since I have multiple locations now, it's just, people make appointments with me.
Oh,
But we're open in Mansfield, physically open from 9 to 5, but I don't believe in answering services. So we answer our own phones 24/7.
Girl, you on top of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Look at you.
So
Yes.
it's
I wanna come
7
do a
days
TikTok.
week.
24/7.
Well, what?
24/7.
TikTok.
What's
I want to
it?
come do a TikTok.
24/7.
Soundbite.
That sounds
The
good.
TikTok of the funeral home.
Yeah.
As long as
That's good.
we had David and Tamla Mann. I was on one of their episodes, and
Really?
yes,
I remember that.
yes, they're great. They're great friends and
That'd
be
supporters
good.
of the funeral
I need
home.
to get them on my show.
They're amazing.
They're really nice people.
Yes, they
They're
are.
amazing
I used to
people.
work with them.
They're very supportive.
Yeah.
If I text David,
He gonna
David,
respond?
he will
Oh,
respond.
really?
Yeah.
He's very helpful with anything that we need. But I say that to say we were on an Emmy nominated show called Startup,
Okay.
and
I remember that show.
yeah, so we were on there, and so I say that to say when people want to come in and do TikToks, I tell them as long as it's tasteful. Like some people want to be in the casket and jumping out of caskets. I don't do that.
Oh, no.
I don't do that.
Well, first of all, if I do a TikTok, that's one thing you got to worry about me doing. It's only one time I want to show up in a casket. You know,
That's right.
I'll say
That's
that.
right.
I don't
But
blame
yeah,
when I
it's-
want to be there.
we don't believe in making a mockery of the dead.
That's good. I like
Yeah,
that.
but people come.
I'm
people
just talking
come
about
out of-
the actual services. And show
Absolutely.
people the excellence with which
I
you
would be
work.
honored for
Yeah.
you to do
Yeah.
so.
That's
Yes,
good.
sir.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
We might even come down there
Yeah,
and
the
do
one in
one.
Frisco, did you build that from the ground up?
So the one in Frisco is a satellite location.
Okay.
So what we did there is there are so many people that are not from Frisco in the northern area that they don't even really have a church home. For whatever reason, their church home is where they're from, or they haven't been here long enough to establish one. So I just have office space there, and we utilize the churches like the Bridge, which is formerly the Potter's House, North Dallas. So the Bridge Church, New Life, and there are other churches that we use to have our services there. And families actually love it because they're scared to come in. They think their loved one is there. I'm like, no, our headquarters is in Mansfield.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And so when we have our approval viewings, which is the families that come in, their intimate family will come in and approve before the public sees them. We'll actually go pick up the family
Okay.
and we'll drive them down free of charge
Okay.
to have the approval viewing. We'll get them lunch if
Oh.
they want it, and we'll take them back up. And then
That's
that
so
way
neat.
we'll meet them at the church.
Oh,
And so there's
wow.
no need for us to have a $1 million facility with a prep room and all
Right,
of that
right.
because
Mhm.
everything is down in Mansfield.
Okay. Good.
Wow.
Now, I
Yeah.
noticed you have your logo on your.
Yes.
You move your hair back. That's beautiful. How did
Thank
you come up with that?
So the peacock is a symbol of peace,
Oh.
prosperity, purity,
Mm.
and I prefer to do things in a different way. So I didn't want a dove. I didn't want pillars. I didn't want clouds. I wanted something different.
It is.
And so I love peacocks because they're very unassuming
Mm-hmm.
until they decide that they want to show what they're about. And so they're just a regular bird. I like to just kind of flow in and out of conversations without people knowing who I am or what I'm doing
Right.
until it's time for me to show God's glory.
Oh,
Wow.
That's
Now,
beautiful.
do you do all races?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
We're
good.
multicultural.
All right, all races.
Yes.
That's awesome. I have really learned a whole lot,
Oh, so have
Dr.
I.
Moore. I have really learned so much. And you want to tell them how they can get in contact with you as well?
I'll be honored to. So it's MansfieldFuneralHomes.com. Again, Mansfield, like the city, funeralhomes.com. Our main number is 817-453-3009. And I also have a platform on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
Wow.
That's awesome. All right, give it up for Dr. Moore.
Thank you.
Wow.
And this
awesome.
is so awesome, the information that she has shared with us about her business, which is Mansfield Funeral Home and Cremation. And what is the address?
1556 Heritage Parkway in Mansfield.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Frisco is 5889 Preston Road at the corner of Preston and Lebanon.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Moore. You has really helped me open up. When I heard her presentation over there, keeping it in the family, I was like, can you come on my show and talk about this? Because a lot of us don't know what goes on with funeral planning until it happened. And then we like, I got to go to a funeral home. I got to go do this. And I really don't know what to do.
Yes, ma'am.
But let me ask you this before we go into our Fashion by Kimberley. How do you handle when a person get up at the funeral home and ask for an offering? I mean, does that include you or that just the family doing that?
It doesn't include me.
Okay.
However, I'm quite perplexed why they're asking for an offering because we don't have service without full payment.
Oh, okay.
So we
it
try
has to be, excuse me, he has to be paid
in full
before
we have service.
Okay,
so when they get up for an offering, they're saying to take care of funerals. I'm sitting there like,
you know,
and then they want to look at they want to look at me like, you know, I'm making them do the offering, and I'm sitting there. We just walk out because we don't want people to think
that you.
I'm like, this service is paid in full. So I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, see, so that could be a scam.
Y'all getting some extra.
Y'all
money.
get some extra money.
That's
on
my
some of it.
firm.
Maybe you can put this. Funeral is paid in
Full.
But that's my firm. Now, some people will take up offers to support the spouse, to support the children.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
I'll GoFundMe too.
I'll actually be there helping them.
Right.
I'll be with the baskets or
good.
help with that. But if they're saying this is for funeral services, I kind of shy away from that because they're not telling the truth.
Because yours is already paid in full. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Moore. I've learned so much and I'm so proud. And she will come to your facility if you need her to come in and do a presentation. You can get with her and she would love to come out and talk to your church or your business or whatever. If you want her to come, just contact her and she'll set up a date because we're going to have her to come out to our church and give a presentation as well. All right, give it up again for Dr. Moore. Okay, and the Mansfield Funeral Home and Cremation. All right, are you ready for Fashion by Kimberley? Okay, drop that music, Otis.
Well, you have to be Otis.
Okay, you ready? You see what she got on? No, ain't that cute? Whoa.
All right, she's showing the legs tonight. Wait a minute.
Whoa.
She got her Kwame polka dots on. They're
like that.
bedazzling. And they look amazing. And the legs.
Do, and I
Bless
love
the
those
legs, y'all.
shoes.
The legs is out there. She get her man tonight.
I know that's right. That's a go catch me.
That part, that is a sheer dress. It is sheer. And if she turn around too fast, it's over.
If she turn and boot over.
Yeah, she turned over too fast. She go hit Otis in the eye back there.
Otis said he got his head down. Otis put his head down. Otis put his head
Shout
down.
out to Kim. She looks amazing.
Yes,
her outfit looks amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to our guest and to Otis's eye.
All right, before we close, we would like to introduce you to, which you already seen, Kimberley, our photo booth, which is one of the most beautiful, handcrafted, built by our producer, and it's called the Kirk Booth. If you want to rent it, you can buy it, you can lease it. We have digital package only. We have print that goes with it. We're very reasonable, but you're going to get good quality, okay? We make up our plaques. We got plaques. We can make up props that goes with your occasion. We can put your picture on it. Whatever you want, we can do it for you. We are one stop. So check us out at www.thekirkbooth.com. And at the end of it, you get all those beautiful pictures. We send our attendants out so you can have fun. But if you just want it for yourself and you don't want the attendant, we can do that too. We can set it up for you, leave, show you how to work. It's very easy. We have the rolled around like a little robot. You can roll it from room to room, or you can even have it in your own home and do whatever you want. But remember, we get to see those pictures. But again, www.thekirkbooth.com. He also is such another entrepreneur. He makes t-shirts.
Oh, nice.
He can make and design t-shirts just for you. And he can put it in the color, all sizes, family reunions, whatever. Or you just want one and say, hey, just make me a beautiful t-shirt. He can do that. You can check us out at www.kirkinspiration.com, where we're there to inspire for every occasion. All right. If you want to be on the talk show, y'all want to come on the talk show, go to www.elmatalkshow.com. We do a lot of WWs. So check us out. If you have a topic, you are welcome to come on and do your topic. But please, if you have a business, we would love to get your business out there through the show. And now we're at it. We can do podcasts. If you have your own podcast, we can do your podcast, but it is a charge, but we're real reasonable. But we set it up very elegant. So we can do your podcast as well. So check us out at our studio, 2401 West Pioneer Parkway, Suite 109 in the great city of Pantego, Texas. And thank you so much, Dr. Moore. And remember, the one and only one stop that does it all at Mansfield Funeral Home and Cremation, now one in Mansfield and Frisco. Thank you so much. Remember, every Monday and Thursday, 8 p.m., Facebook and YouTube. May God bless you and keep you until we see you face to face. Good night.